these things. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. Welcome everybody. What's going on? I'm sorry. Oh, when I put the headphones in, you would think it would just. I have to turn off my headphones, so I apologize, you guys. Welcome to tonight's show. I'm Samantha Lee. Welcome to abbreviated version of the Samantha Lee Show. I am going to try to make this 30 minutes for you guys that tune in, and then an hour and 15 for the Wednesday night show. But welcome, welcome, welcome. If you do not know, I am Samantha Lee, and if you don't know any background of me, I am a therapist by day and turn into a content creator by any other time. I'm a full-time content creator and a full-time therapist. So that's what I do. And I like to share my perspectives and opinions online. I infuse my spirituality, my education, my experience, my observations, and I make my opinions unapologetically, transparently on all platforms. Okay. And so that is what I do, who I am. And so tonight I am going to go straight to the point. I see a Solomon, hey, just joined your channel officially. Keep speaking truth, sis. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you. But yes, so if you guys do not know anything about me, that is what I do. I go live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Samantha Lee Show. That's a whole show that's from top to bottom. I'm going to hit hot topics. I'm going to have a full segment, and then I talk a little bit about sports, because if y'all don't know, I like sports a little bit. And a little bit more than a little bit. We're not going to talk about that tonight, and I'm going to answer some of y'all questions at the end of the show. But tonight, I'm just going to I'm going to go straight to the point. I'm not going to let this computer die on me. And we're going to get into what we're getting into. So the topic of tonight's conversation was, do women have a backup plan? Do most women have a backup plan? Somebody said they saw me. Somebody said, Jay Dillinger said, I saw you at Buc-ee's buying beaver nuggets. Now, you said that for my attention, but that was really good. They got my attention. I ain't gonna lie. You got me. You got me. So now here's the thing, y'all. I don't badmouth men. Y'all know anything about me? I actually be advocating for men. So you must not be familiar with my content. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So I saw this clip. The clip said that women, more than 70% of women have a backup plan. And that 50% of married women say that they have a backup plan. And there's a most of the reasons for this, but I want to do some research. So I did some research online, have my computer right here. And they did a survey that said apparently over 50% of women had a backup lover and 70% of women had a backup lover in general. The backup guy, the plan B, half of women have a backup plan. And I wanted to answer this question because somebody asked me, like, is this true? They sent me the article. They said, yes, Sam, is this true? Yes, it's true. It's true. And on this live, I'm going to explain why it's true. A lot of women do have backup plans. And I'm going to explain to you why they do. And sometimes it's unintentional. Sometimes it's a friend that just stays around and they're hoping for the opportunity when your relationship, they feel like it's going to end. They going to be there. So they swoop on in and get you, right? I've had that have happened as well. When I get out of a relationship, somebody I thought was my friend, a genuine male friend, and tried me. And I realized they weren't really a friend. They were just waiting for the opportunity to slide up on in there. And that was a rude awakening for me. And then you have, women that consciously have backup plans. And I'm going to speak to both sides of this because I think that when We're going to break it all the way down. When I was younger, in my definitely my 20s, early 20s, yes. If you're talking to somebody in their 20s, they got a backup plan. More than likely, when I say more than likely, I would say, I will almost argue 98% of somebody in their 20s got a backup plan. Guaranteed they got a backup plan. It is not because, and it's not what you think it is, family. It's not what you automatically assume, like, oh, because da da da. No, because when I had backup plans, and hear me clear, when I had backup plans, it was because I was insecure. It really had nothing to do with the relationship at all. The reason why I had a backup plan was because I was insecure. And I was afraid of getting hurt. And I was afraid of putting all my eggs in one basket and being disappointed. So I had this backup plan just in case my main plan didn't work out. I had this other thing over here just in case, I was talking to and giving energy every once in a while so that if something happened here, I had that going that I could go to there. That was me experiencing something. And now I'm bleeding on someone that didn't cut me. So that's the reality. It was my insecurities. Insecure, immature. That's why I did that. Now, I would, when we go into the married statistics, that's where you guys lost me. Because this is where I have a problem, and this is where some of y'all say, "Oh, you go on badmouth the men." No, this is where I'm going to badmouth some women. If you have to have a backup plan for marriage, you probably shouldn't be getting married. If you have somebody on the side that you are waiting to go talk to, this is part of the problem, y'all. This is part of the issue. This is part of my biggest problem with women today. We want so badly to be a wife, but we have no idea what it takes. I'm here to tell you, it's not easy. There are sacrifices that need to be made. Sacrifices that need to be made. There are things you need to be doing. And when you're out here and you're getting backup plans, what are you doing? That marriage is not built for a backup plan. That's not my whole thing. Like we over here. I'm gonna go on this show and I'm gonna find my husband and I'm ready to get married. No, you're not. You're actually not, because if you have a backup plan, you're not ready. Because when you get married, that's when you say, bump all my backup plans. I'm sticking with one person for the rest of my life. And that is a very scary thing to do. But that is the decision that you make when you say, I do. And what I dislike and about this entire, this entire culture is so non-committal, bro. That's my whole thing. It's like everybody's so non-committal. We don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, but we want to force somebody else to. We want to make a man feel like he need to put all his eggs in my basket, but I'm not willing to put all my eggs in his. The reason why women do this is because of insecurity and immaturity. Insecurity because they're afraid of getting disappointed. They don't want to put all their eggs in this basket. And if they're wrong, they don't want to have no one to fall back on. They don't have the belief in self that if they go wrong, that they could find somebody else. So I've got to have this person that is here so that I don't have anyone, because I'm afraid of being alone. God forbid I have a moment by myself if something was to go wrong in my relationship. That is part of the problem in today's society. We can't be by ourselves. We have this, oh my God, if we're alone, it's the worst thing in the world. No, it's not. It's great. I like being by myself. If I don't like being with me, how can I expect somebody else to like being with me? No, I have to create a situation, and I have to Like, really, the thing here's my biggest problem with the statistics, because guys, if you are just tuning in, I see 252 people in here. Let's get the likes up. 200. My biggest issue here is not so much the young girls that I'm sure is doing this, because y'all, a lot of guys, they want to be with 20-some-year-olds. You can do that. Every 20-some-year-old got 20-some-year-old young woman, I don't care what they look like, got a backup plan. You can call me on that if you want to. I don't care. And here's the thing, family. Backup plans don't mean their preferences. Backup plans means if all else fails, I've got somebody I can talk to. I've got somebody I can settle with. I've got this guy that obviously doesn't have any other options, because he's waiting on me while I'm married or in a relationship until I get single. So obviously this is not creme de la creme men we're talking about that is gonna wait. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Creme de la creme men, any creme de la creme men, don't you dare let a woman put you on layaway. Don't you dare let a woman put you on no daggone layaway. Big sis Sam is here to let you know, don't let no woman put you on no layaway. If you're not starting five, we're not bench players. We're not bench players. No, we're not second unit. We're first unit. We're on the floor. Somebody is passing me the ball, or we're not playing. And that's that. Anybody in the chat that is with me on that, I am not a backup plan. I'm not your second string. I'm starting. If I'm not starting, you could just keep me wherever I'm at. Just leave me there. Just leave me wherever I'm at. I'm cool. I'll start on somebody else's team. Trust me. I'll get picked up in the off season. I'm a free agent. I'll get picked up. Trust me. Don't worry about me. Worry about you. That's where I'm at, family. That's where that's the kind of confidence you got to be on. That's the kind of confidence you got to be on. You be like, listen, you can, if you want to have a backup plan and do you and blah 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 blah. If you want to be with this man, go be with your plan A. Go be with your plan. Do not allow yourself to be nobody plan B. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm not letting myself be nobody plan B. Let me close my computer. I am not letting myself be nobody plan. First of all, my personality, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I got too strong of a person. I do. I don't even think I have the personality to be a plan B. I don't think so. Plan B personalities are like docile, like they're like, okay, just call me, whatever. That is not your girl. Your girl is not that. I'm not gifted in that area. Yeah. I'm just silly. Y'all are not used to women with a lot of personality. I have a lot of personality. I'm engaging. I'm not boring. I'm drinking water. But anyway, the whole point is this. My issue is with a lot of this is that we have a lot of people that instead of spending time by themselves and working on their issues, what they do is they run from relationship to relationship to relationship instead of being by themselves. It's like this deathly afraid of being on their own. That's the insecurity. That's the insecurity that I think is causing a lot of this plan A, plan B, plan C business. If I really believe in myself, and I do believe in myself, if I believe in myself, I don't need to have a plan A or a plan B that like just waiting in the wing just in case this doesn't work out. I believe enough in myself that as soon as I get single, if that's the situation that happens for me, I'll be fine. I'll find somebody else. I trust God. I don't need to be stringing people along and disrespecting my situation and leaving with regrets because I don't feel good enough about me that I can not have a plan B. That's really what it comes down to. I don't believe enough in myself to just try it. I'm not secure enough in myself to believe that if I just put all my eggs in one basket, that once I'm done with the situation, if that was to occur, that I'll be okay. There's a belief, the core belief that's driving that behavior is saying, I don't believe that I'm going to be okay. And what we are seeing is a society that's being run by their insecurities. What we are seeing is a society that is being run by flesh, carnal, where you're going down an aisle and you're saying, I do. Going down an aisle saying, I do, and you have a plan B? Come on. We don't even understand that. We don't even understand. We just want to be in something. We want to be in something to be in something, not understanding what that actually means. That just tells me that we're getting in relationships for selfish reasons. We're getting in relationships for needs that we need to be able to meet on our own as a grown woman. As a grown woman, I should be able to validate myself. As a grown woman, I should be able to say that I am good enough. As a grown woman, I should be able to be by myself for a little bit. As a grown woman, I should be able to enjoy my own company. That's what grown women do. And when we come around here and we want to say we grown and we independent and we're this and we're that, but we can't be by ourselves. We say we grown, we independent, but we're hypersexualizing ourselves for $1. We say we grown, we independent, but we're getting mad at people for not taking us to 5-star restaurants or not feeding us when we can't feed because we can't feed ourselves. But we grown women. The problem is somebody said in the chat, and I'm going to use your disgusting comment to make a point. A lot of women think that because we got grown bodies, we grown women. Just because I have a body don't mean I'm grown. Grown is a mindset, family. Grown is a mindset. Grown is not a body type. And what we're finding is that a lot of women are conducting themselves like teenagers. Because that's what teenagers do. Teenagers have plan Bs. Teenagers are insecure and run by their insecurities. That's what teenagers do. But yet we have teenagers running down the aisle saying I do, ultimatuming men into saying I do to you, possibly. That may not be true. I'm just saying that for effect. But you ultimately giving a man an ultimatum to say I do to you and you're not ready for I do because you have a plan B. If you got a plan B, don't get married. That means half of the women that are getting married should not be getting married. If 50% of women have a plan B, they should not be getting married. That would actually cut the divorce rate by 50%. Which means if half of the women who do not, if you've got a plan B, stop saying I do. That would cut the divorce rate by 50%. I just think for me that I'm getting disappointed. I'm getting disappointed with what I am seeing. Because I think a lot of people, and it's culture, right? It's modern culture. It's what we are seeing on the internet spaces. It is what we're seeing. Hey, I gotta ask somebody a question. How did you know I was a Scorpio? I'm like, how'd you know I was a Scorpio? Y'all know we getting 250 likes on this live, Pam. We need to go ahead and get 250 likes on this daggone Instagram. I mean Instagram. On this daggone YouTube. I don't know how y'all knew that. But I'm sorry, y'all. When I looked up that statistic and somebody sent me that, I wanted to come on here and tell you guys that wasn't true. Because that was true for me when I was in my early 20s, but after my early 20s, it was no longer true for me, right? I didn't have a plan B. In fact, I had a homegirl at the time. I'm going to tell y'all a story. I had a homegirl at the time that actually confronted me about my behavior. She was like, and I saw how she had relationships, and she was putting her all in to every guy that she was meeting, right? And I admired that on some level, but didn't on some level as well. And one day she was like, why don't you just like try to just give your all to somebody? And I was deathly afraid of that. I was being confronted with the real anxiety that I was feeling because I just didn't want to be hurt again. I didn't want to be hurt in the same way. I had been vulnerable. I'd opened myself up. That first heartbreak, y'all know what that first heartbreak is like. Men, y'all know. You get your heart broken the first time, it wakes you up like nothing else. And you basically like, you know what? I'm not okay. You never gonna catch me slipping again. This heart, oh no, we putting the guard up, baby. This, you're not gonna get this again. Sam's heart gonna be guarded. You know, but it really was a testament to, having a friend of mine that was checking my behavior. And I realized that I was allowing the pain of the past to dictate my behavior. And so moving forward, I did open my heart up. And I was in a long relationship, and then I got married. But long relationship, we broke up, and then I got married very quickly in the next relationship. And so I will say that, when it comes down to it, I think that a lot of us, because we live in this fast-paced, instant gratification culture, it makes us ill-prepared for what marriage and relationships require. I'm saying that even for myself. When it came to relationships, because as I stated before, I was somebody that was finding plan Bs as well. I was when I say plan B, y'all, I'm not talking about plan B as in the medication. I'm talking about a plan B. We talking about men, okay? We're talking about another option. We had a connection with a man that we're continuing to maintain while we're in relationship with somebody else, because we don't, if this fails, we got this. And I was just confronted about that, and I stopped doing that, and it came down to me being insecure. That's what it came down to. And I think that a lot of young women and a lot of women, let's just not even say young, but a lot of women are insecure. A lot. And because a lot of women are insecure, they're driven by their insecurities, and they're making decisions based upon those insecurities. That's that. And when I'm telling you to make decisions based upon clarity, that means that I don't allow myself to have, I'm put all my eggs here, there, and there. You gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. A lot of times when we don't put our eggs all in one basket, like we're in a relationship with somebody, if we're dealing with someone and we put our eggs in another basket, you end up with regret, because you realize in that relationship, if it does fail, You're like, I could have given more. There's more I could have done. You walk away from that relationship not necessarily feeling like you gave your best, right? It's better to walk away from the relationship knowing that you gave your all. You walk away with more peace that way. The ones that keep crying, they're all upset, they're this, they're that. I know when I look at them, I'm like, you didn't give your all in the relationship. Y'all know when somebody passes away and there's one person that wasn't really that involved with the person while they were alive, and then that person passes away and they're the most distraught, you know that they're dealing with cognitive dissonance. The cognitive dissonance is what's whooping their tail. It's the same thing with relationships. If I know that I didn't give my all in a relationship, I didn't put all my cards on the table like I should have. When I walk away from that relationship or that relationship fails, I end up with some regret. It's called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when I'm doing something. When I'm doing something, I got you, Trayshawn. I'm doing something that I don't believe, right? Everything that we do, family, there's a psychology lesson. Everything that we do has to make sense. Everything we do has to make sense. Our beliefs have to be in line with our actions. So when our actions and our beliefs don't align, we have to either change the belief or change the action. Okay, so if I say I don't like liars, I can't stand a liar. But then I lie. I have to change the belief. Well, I can lie only when my life is on the line. That's okay when I can lie in those circumstances. So now I have made whatever I'm doing make sense. Right? And so what people do is when they're in relationships and they're trying to hold different beliefs, cognitive dissonance comes in when I'm holding this belief, like I don't, whatever about the relationship, like I'm not a cheater, or I don't want whatever that may be about the relationship. I don't know why the relationship's ending or what their behavior is in that relationship. Like I'm a good boyfriend, but I'm cheating. I'm a good husband, but I'm disrespectful. Like whatever that may be, those two things can't exist. I have to change something about my belief or change something about my behavior, or nothing about it makes sense. Right? And so what happens is that you'll find this with some exes. Y'all might have some female exes that you could see this with. The people that do the most to you, and then you eventually get tired and then you leave. They be the most bitter, the most angry, the most hateful. It's like, why? You gave me every reason to leave. And that's called cognitive dissonance. Because what they believed about the relationship and their behavior in the relationship they don't equate. They literally don't exist. They can't exist. So they either have to make you a bad person or they have to be a bad person. And they don't want to be a bad person. So they have to make you a bad person. Right? Do y'all get that? That's what you have to understand. A lot of times people, when they don't want to believe negative things about you, they project negative things onto you. Because they can't hold that belief about themselves. It won't make sense. Our brains are wired to do things that make sense. And I can get more into that, but it's even with trauma. Our brain does not know how to process trauma. So any type of trauma that you've experienced, a lot of times your brain is going to try to filter it and try to press it down and suppress it so that you can still function. Because your brain's like, we got to still keep going. And so what will happen is you'll go through and you'll do something in you might be working and you see something and it triggers something. And it's like, that's weird. Why does that trigger that? Because your brain was trying to suppress it and try to organize your memory in such a way so that you could still function. But again, we get into a psychology lesson. That's besides the point. We going above our pay grade. My whole point here is when we're having relationships, the best way to go about relationships is to be 100% about them. And if you leave the relationship and it does not work, you have more peace about it. I learned that through doing it 2 different ways. I've been through the way where there was a plan B, and I've been through the way where there was no plan B. I had way more peace walking away from a relationship where there was no plan B. It just didn't work. And I was like, you know what? I can handle that, because at least I know I did everything that I could and it just didn't work. Versus walking away from a situation and I know I could have done things, some things differently, or I know that that I had a plan B in that earlier situation. The situations after that, when I was, kind of after that conversation with that young lady, which I appreciate her to this day, having that conversation with me, the relationships after that were way more fulfilling. And when those things ended, I had more peace. And so I would say to any young lady that's listening to me, because I know there's young ladies that listen to me, when you're going into, hear me clear, modern culture has an agenda. I don't like the agenda. You keep watching my channel, you'll understand the agenda. The agenda is promiscuity. The agenda is hypersexualization. The agenda is the agenda. It's to keep women single. It's to, oh, I don't need a man. Prioritize your career over everything, money over everything. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you do. If it's for $1, it's worth it. This propaganda, it's actually sad for me to watch, because that's what we're promoting. We're promoting anything and everything is worth $1. And that's sad for me. Like, I know for me, there's easier ways for me to make money. For sure. For sure. But because I have a daughter, and because of my own integrity, and because of my fathers, I have a stepdad and I have a dad, because of what they've instilled in me, I have 2 brothers. There's no way I could do that because of what they've taught me, because of my family, because of my relationship with God. There's just certain things I just can't do. My moral compass won't let me. And young women that are watching me, yes, for a moment, you make a lot of money, sure. But moving forward in the future, it takes a lot of opportunities off the table. A lot of opportunities off the table. There are men, quality men, that won't even look your direction for real because you have OnlyFans. It's the truth. Now, there might be some men that don't care. But there's going to be a lot of men, quality men, that's like, no, I don't think I can take you seriously. Because if my mama can look up the fact that you had an OnlyFans, yeah, I can't take you home. If my sister can find your OnlyFans, I can't take you home. I don't care how much money you make on it. This is true. This is true. And is this a surprise to women? Yes. It's a surprise to women. Some women are like, well, as long as if I'm making millions of dollars, it's worth it. No, it's not, sweetheart. It's not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think $1 is worth your soul. That's just not my thing. And again, that's me. That's my personal perspective. That's my spiritual background. That's my conviction. That's not necessarily me. What does it say? Oh, hold on. We are human, make mistakes. We all live to get over it and watch Jehovah decide. We worthy to be judged by the masses. Free game, open eyes, clear heart, moralis, loyalty and respect. Thank you, K-Picture. Thank you. No, everybody, I'm not saying people won't find someone. I will say, what I am saying is that it may be harder, and we all know that. It doesn't mean that you won't find anyone. That's not what I'm saying at all. A beautiful woman is going to find a man. It's going to happen. Now, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It may be harder to find the type of man she desires. It might be harder. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's harder. I don't think anything is impossible. It's just harder. But again, I'm coming on here because the question that was asked of me was, Sam, is this true? Do most women have a backup plan? And I'm on here to tell you, based upon the numbers, the answer is yes. It is true. It is true. And on this live, I hoped to express why. My frustrations with that, the problems with that. But it's true. Now, I want to ask the crowd, do most men have a plan B as well? Would you say that most men have a plan B? Let's get these likes up, y'all. Okay, like it's like basketball. Sorry, Trayshawn. Like basketball. How do I make this an analogy? I made it into a basketball analogy. What part of this do you want it to be a basketball analogy? Not good, man. I got to plan A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, never have a question. We're complicated. They're different, kinda. It's like shooting hoops. No. We lead and expect to be followed. Yes, A, B, C, and D. It's just your turn. I hate the whole it's your turn thing. Like, that's so dumb, bro. Like, I hate people saying that. It's everyone's turn with like, if you decide to date somebody as a grown person after the age of 16, it's your turn. That is just what I don't like it when men do that. Like, I don't like the whole it's your turn. I would just love to debate that. I would love to debate. It's your turn. It's my turn with you too, right? Like, it's all of our turn. Like, some men are moving around in ways. Wasn't Will Chamberlain that was with 10,000 women? There's some men that are moving in ways women could never. I mean, could never move. So what do we call that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that our turn? Like, it's not. It's not your woman. It's your turn. No, if that's what you desire, if you want to keep taking turns with women, then that's your choice. You can just be a turn, or you could be the whole daggone ride. You can be the whole Six Flags if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you're choosing women that everybody else has chosen. Like, I feel like a lot of guys, if I'm being honest, they choose women that done been with people Like, if you know men personally, I'm saying you boys with somebody, and he been with, and he been with, and he been with, and he been with, and we all, you know that they have all been with the same woman, and you choose her, then to me, I'm looking at you like, okay, what? Well, you knew what this was. You knew. You're like a willing participant in this. You can't be mad at nobody but you, because you chose somebody that you would be taking turns with. That's my thing. I think, that's just my thing. I feel like I feel like sometimes it's a little bit obvious when some women move like that, and then we're victims. And I would say the same thing to women. If you know how a man moves, like, we know how Future moves. No disrespect to you, Future. I'm just using you as an example. We know how he moves. It is clear how Future moves. He been moving like this for at least a decade. So you cannot be mad when Future moves like Future. He ain't changing. The women just change. It is literally your turn. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what I'm saying. I feel like, Oh, okay, okay. If you mean a plan B for marriage, no plan B, you coming off the bench. I think for me personally, if I'm talking to a young woman on the live right now, y'all, let's get these likes up. We're not getting off the live until it's 250. We gotta get 250 likes up in here. 250 likes, y'all, is for the free 99. I would say to a young woman, I know what culture's telling you. I know promiscuity is in. I personally, as a grown woman, and when I was growing up, I'm originally from New Jersey, but I lived in Atlanta for most of my life. I got my bachelor's and my master's here in Atlanta. Go Dogs, root root. That's my bark. But personally, I would say, if you giving things out like Halloween candy, it's not valuable. If everybody can get it, it's not valuable. I look at it like, yes, okay, I come from Southern Baptist, True Love Waits. Yes, that's very old fashioned culture. I know that's not the culture that we're in. I've been told that a million times. I get that. I hold myself to that regard. That's the standard I would hold my daughter to. I would want my daughter to want to hold herself and not just give herself to everybody that takes you on a date or everybody that says they interested. No, that's not. I hold myself with a certain level of discipline and abstinent and celibate. And that's just what I do when I'm not locked in with anybody. I don't move like that. That's not me. I don't feel like that's for young women. I wouldn't be casually moving around with men. I would not. I know I can't say the word on YouTube like that. I don't think I can. But I just don't think casual sex is not good for women. It's just not. We cannot move like men. We were not created like men. Therefore, we cannot move like men. I think that we have to be more cognizant of who we allow in and out of our bodies. If I look at it like, if you park it in my garage, you must be staying because you ain't going nowhere else. If you parking in this garage, you ain't going nowhere. So yeah, you might as well get it home. You hungry? You hungry? You want something to eat? I'll go ahead. I'll cook you something. You must be starving. It's okay. You're not going nowhere. It's okay. But I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying, to me personally, I don't believe in moving around like that. I think, especially here in Atlanta, y'all, HIV, the race is crazy in Atlanta. And y'all are talking about in the state of Georgia 12-1. Okay, you can say 12-1, but if you talk to a man from Atlanta, a lot of men from Atlanta say it's not a lot of quality women. There's a lot of women, but the women that you desire may not be 12-1. It may not be that, but there's a lot of women. There is a lot of women. And if that's all that matters, as long as they're a woman, they've got estrogen running through their bones, and that's enough for you, when we're good. But if you're talking about quality women, women you desire for long term, not short term, now yeah. What'd y'all say? Hold on. Wait, what? I'm from Roswell, Georgia. They broke back in the hey, what that mean? Somebody said a ratchet weirdo. What? Why are you on my live? Oh Lord, y'all are funny, boy. I tell you what. Anyway, yes, I think there are some down low men. I think there are some down low. I mean, I'm learning about more down, but I'm not speaking on that. That don't have nothing to do with me. All I'm saying is let's get the likes up. The way that the STD rates be in Atlanta, in Atlanta and the world, the way that people be moving, I believe in spiritual energy. I believe in transfers. I believe in all that stuff. So I can't just be with I can't. And the way that my spirit is, I don't share very well. I've never been able to, I'm not a good sharer. I'm not a good sharer of men. It's just not a quality I have. I feel like I'm a great time as far as like I'm entertaining, but I'm not a good sharer. I'm just I just don't share very well. So I don't do that. And here's the thing, y'all. Personally, I don't feel like it's hard to find. I think men. There's a lot of great men. I'm not even gonna be on here and say there's no men. No, there's a lot of great men. There's a lot of great men. There's a lot of great men in the world. There's good men in Atlanta. That's not. I'm not gonna go on this live and say that there's not. There are. There are. They may not be my man, but they are great men. And that's that. Somebody said sharing is caring. Is somebody caring? Somebody feels that way. I think there's great men everywhere. I feel like I'm just saying people talk about men in Atlanta. I'm just saying Atlanta. I'm speaking for the men in Atlanta because I can only speak. I'm in Atlanta. That's where I'm at. You know. Yeah. Jarrell said, I love this. Jarrell said, she said, is you hungry? And have a brother ready to hang his jersey up. Look at that. Come on, Jarrell. Okay, let's get these likes up, y'all. Let's get these likes up. 250. Um, Again, I think that it's very good to have an understanding of self, but I want to advocate for women. If you are in a situation where you are single, don't just give yourself away. Don't give yourself away. Don't give yourself away. I don't care what pressure you're facing. If the man ain't gonna be there, he wasn't gonna be there anyway. And that's just my opinion. I don't believe in just giving yourself away freely to people. I just don't believe in that. I just don't. I just don't. And again, I don't judge. I mean, people do things differently. Some women can handle, being in situations and handle, casual. I can't handle that. And I feel like most women that I've met can't, for real. They say they can, but there's a part of you that has to not be alive to be able to do that. That's how I feel. I want to connect. I want to bond. That's the kind of thing that I want to do with the person that I want around me. Like, cause that's very personal. You're allowing somebody to experience you, your whole being. Like, no. I feel like that's special. And so I don't give that away. And I would want the person that I do decide to be with to know that it wasn't just given away. I ain't gonna read this comment, but I thank you for the super chat. I want to be in love too. But yes, no, at least the person that I am with will know that I didn't move like that. I wouldn't just, no. They knew that it was not like that. It could have been and it wasn't. um, hold on. Follower her in Insta. What's your take in people that have a few months of dating and the connection they feel is tight, like years kind of thing? Would it be too fast to live together? Now, I don't believe, I mean, I might be the wrong person to ask in this situation. I think it's too fast. Again, I also got married in 5.5 months. Okay. I was engaged in 3 and married in 5. So I might not be the person that you want to ask about moving too fast. But I would say that, I think it does take time, and sometimes your feelings can move really, really fast. But I feel like you have to see somebody through some seasons first. You need that time apart, and although your feelings can get really exciting, and you sometimes you have to press the brake on it and just kind of let things go, a little bit. That's what I would say. I speaking from my spiritual side, that can be a conflict, because that's not necessarily what we believe in. But process relayer, people, I'm just gonna say this. People don't know why I've made whatever decision that I've made in my life. That is not for the world to know. I've never made a statement. I've never talked about it. I've never done anything for anyone to know why I've done anything. And so I know you must like gossip, and some men like to gossip. Some women like to gossip, and some men do too. So I guess you're one of the men that do. But I think for me personally, I'm one of those people that go off of what people say and what they give me. But I've never shared my reasons. It's not for the world to know. It's my reasons, for why I did what I did. I know why I did it, and I'm at peace for what I did and why I did it. So I don't need, you don't have to agree, disagree, but that's not, that's not for you to agree or disagree. Luckily, I know nothing about you. I don't know who you've been with. I don't know who you've been with in the last 5 years. I haven't been in my marriage in 5 years. So I don't know what your ex was from 5 years ago. That's fortunate for you. You know, I just, at the end of the way, I don't know you, and you don't know me, and you don't, I don't know you from that's that. But the people that love me and know my situation, they don't have an issue with the decision I made. Only the people that don't do. Um, but I think we just need two more likes on here, and then we are done. Two more likes. Thank you for liking the curtains. I appreciate that. I think we've gotten to the place that we need to get to tonight. I will be going live again on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will be talking about, I think it was Pam, was it the fatal? It was a video I saw about the attraction, how to make yourself more attractive to women. I was going to comment on the video and see and really give you guys a real perspective on what is true and what's not. So that is going to be coming up on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that'll be the full show. So I'll comment on a bunch of different things. It's a fun show. Otherwise than that, y'all, I love you guys. I thank you guys for joining us tonight. I thank you guys for those who were respectful, and I thank you for those who weren't. Y'all all engaged, so it all benefits the channel. Again, y'all spread love. Don't spread gossip. Like I have more empathy for people that people talk about. They know nothing about them. They just spread gossip. We're human beings. Everybody's a human being. You have no idea what people are facing privately. You have no idea. I don't know what you're going through privately. I'm not going to pretend. You might be struggling with things that I know nothing about. And I pray that God is with you and dealing with you and healing you, whatever that may be for you. Because I know that it's not really you that comes on here and wants to be hateful and say negative things to someone. Like, that doesn't come from a happy spirit. That comes from a spirit that's troubled. And so I think that, you know, regardless, like, everybody is human. We're all going through things. And so in this world that is already a lot going, we got wildfires on one side of the world, we got snow and ice storms on the other. When there's already lives being lost, terroristic attacks, why spread hate? There's enough going on in the world. Spread love. Spread love. Why talk, like, spread love? Especially when you don't know anything. You only think you do. And speaking like you know. And I can't even point you out in the lineup. I don't even know you. You know nothing about me. I know nothing about you. But all I have, I'm not even angry with you. All I have is love in my heart for you. So, anyway. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will talk to you, and we will talk about this, going over, like I said, a reaction video of the 7 things that I think is like fatal attraction, something like that, or make you more attractive to women. 7 things that will make you more attracted to women. I will discuss those things, tell you if that is true or false, and we'll have fun with that show. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll talk some basketball with you guys and everything else. Anyway, y'all, I love you guys. I will see you guys soon. Thank you guys for joining the show tonight. And yeah, like the show. Like and subscribe. Talk to you.